Hello everybody, welcome to Physics 111, Introductory Physics for the Physical Sciences. I'm very excited that you're taking this course. In fact, I've been waiting to deliver this course for a few months now when I found out I was teaching it. That it's going to be online allows me to try several of the things that I've been wanting to do with some of my courses for a very long time. So let's get started. Let's get right into it. I want to introduce you to the course, how to access the stuff that you need, and where to find what you need to do each week. All right, so we're going to start out at Canvas. This is the location for all of our courses, and this is what you'll see when you log into our course. On the left sidebar, you've got Home, Announcements, Syllabus, and the course content. This is perhaps the most important link on Canvas, the course content. This is where you'll find everything that you need to do. Then, of course, we have the Piazza forums where you can ask questions, and the TAs and the instructor will help try and get your questions answered as soon as possible. We've got Mastering Physics, grades, and the Zoom link. That's where you'll be able to find how to get onto the class Zoom meetings that happen once a week. All right, so let's start with the course content. As I said, that was the most important thing. Just a quick note, you'll find that there's lots of sidebars in various places on Canvas. So you can actually minimize the sidebar by clicking these three hamburger buttons. Okay, so click that and you'll get rid of the sidebar. And then when you're in the main content for the course content, let's say you're at the location you want to read and you want to get rid of this sidebar, well, this arrow will get rid of it. And then when you want to expand it again, you just click on the three hamburger icon. All right, so you're all pretty familiar with the syllabus right now, so I won't go over it in too much detail. Let's go right to what you have to do in week 2. On the left-hand side, we've got some links. So about this course, part 1, which has some links to it for each of the weeks. And each week, once we finish it, I'll collapse these headings. You can always access it again if you click on the week. You'll see all the previous content. But for the current week, I'll have these tabs or these links expanded already that tell you what you have to do for the week. So once you click on week 2, you'll get taken to this page that tells you various things about what you have to do this week. So the first video that I want to watch, after this one of course, is how to watch flipped lecture videos. So in my class last week, I talked about how we're going to be using some of the recordings from Mr. P, who's a physics teacher out in one of the states, in one of the schools in the United States. So these flipped lecture videos are really quite excellent, and there's nothing that I'm going to be honest with you, there's no way that I can replicate the quality and the effort that this person has put into these videos. And I've actually made a donation to him on behalf of our class. Also let me know if you find his videos really helpful, because I thought they were really great. So the first video will tell you how to learn from a flipped education video. The next thing you'll see is the list of things to do this week. So I've got some check marks here. This is just a test here. I'm going to populate it with the correct content once the content is released each week. You'll have some things you need to do. For instance, this video, I want you to watch this video. So first thing you do, read or skim the assigned textbook chapter, watch the lecture videos, complete the Mastering Physics homework, and remember that the homework is actually due. It's not something that you can just put off at the last second. It does have a due date. Write the test. So this test will be on Canvas, and it'll take about 60 minutes for you to complete it. Complete the lab. So there's a lab component in this course as well. And on Canvas, you'll find a different shell for it. It's called Physics 111 Labs. And then there's a learning log. Okay, so we're going to talk about all these things very quickly. The readings are mostly going to be just the textbook readings. Okay, so I'm going to assign a chapter each week, and you'll find that in the course schedule. If you click on it, which chapter is assigned for which week. This week, you're assigned chapter 2, and you're meant to read all of the sections. So again, some of this content may be quite familiar to you, so feel free to skim it if it's quite familiar to you. But please do bear in mind that just because you've seen it before doesn't mean that you actually fully understand it. So the concepts are actually quite complicated, but they may be familiar to you if you've taken Physics 12 or AP Physics or courses similar to that in the past. And then at the end of the reading, I've also assigned to you a crash course video that sort of summarizes everything in about 10 minutes. Okay, so these videos are really quite good, and I highly encourage you to watch these videos after you complete the readings for the week. Once you're done the readings for the week, the next step is to look at the videos that I've assigned. So these are essentially replacements for the lectures that are typically happen that typically happen in a class such as this. These are quite, as I said, really impressive videos that this physics teacher has made, and I've sort of organized them for you as follows. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 readings, 6 videos that I've assigned for week 2. Click on each one, read it. View it, and then once you're done, you can click this check mark. That's sort of like just to keep track of what you've done. When you come back to the website or to the Canvas course a little bit later, this check mark should remain, and then you'll know where you were, how many videos you finished, and where you are in sort of the course progression. There's also some example problems where the sample problems are solved on the board, and again, these are quite good. There's very interactive, very good demos in here as well. So these are the videos that you need to watch each week. And then after the videos, I encourage you to start working on the homework. Maybe you can start working on it as soon as you do the readings, but really I think the videos are going to help as well, really solidify the material in your mind. So I've got a link here that'll take you to Mastering Physics, and once you click it, you'll get taken to Mastering Physics, and you'll have all the assignments that you can do in Mastering Physics. And then at the end of the week, or roughly close to the end of the week, you'll have a lecture. So this lecture session is going to be live. It's going to be on Zoom, and we're going to see what we can do in our lecture to make sense of some of the things you've done and some of the concepts that you have worked on. Just like in other courses that you may be taking, there's this concept of what's the most complicated thing that you had trouble understanding, or what's the muddiest point. There'll be a question like that in your homework assignment as well, and I'll collate all of those responses, and in the lecture perhaps I'll give a quick demo or a quick tutorial on some of the things that you found challenging. Once you're done the lecture, at the end of the lecture, the test window for the test will open up. So after the lecture, you have roughly 48 hours to complete the test that was assigned for that particular week on that chapter. This particular week, week 2, it's going to be just a test on the course policies. So it's not for marks, but that doesn't mean it's optional. I do want you to still do the test so that you can compare, so you can make sure that your system is set up as you would like, and you can actually do the test when we get to it for real. All right, so that's the test. And then of course there's the lab. The lab component is again a separate Canvas course, so you'll find a lab manual there and any pre-lab stuff that you have to do, as well as any post-lab things that you need to do. That's going to be something that's going to be ongoing in the week. Perhaps your lab is earlier in the week, perhaps it's later. That's going to be up to you to figure out when in the week you sort of schedule that time. Finally, when you've finished everything, we've got this last thing, which is a learning log. So each week you'll be submitting a learning log, and again, the idea of a learning log is to help you reflect on what you've learned, how you've learned it, and what you think you should do perhaps better next week, or maybe you need extra support, extra resources, and what can you do? So for the first week, I really want you to think about how you study physics and how you've previously been taught physics. So I've got a lecture from Dr. Eric Mazur of Harvard, talks about active learning and peer instruction. This is sort of roughly the format we're following in this course. So I want you to understand exactly what I mean when I say active learning and peer instruction, so you can understand that the methods that I'm going to be using in this course are well supported by evidence, and many people deploy these in their lectures. So you're going to watch a quick video, and then after that, you're going to reflect on the video, just answer a couple of questions. What did you think of it? What are your thoughts on it? How do you think watching the video will help you improve in this course? And just a quick note, when you're watching this video, you can actually watch it at different speeds. So here's the mute and unmute button. But if you want closed captions or subtitles, you can click this and you can get some subtitles on your screen. But the most important thing is this settings button here. You can actually control the playback speed. So you can watch it at half speed, 3/4 speed, full speed, 25% faster, 50% faster, 1.75% faster, and 2 times faster. So I would say 2 times faster is probably a little too fast, but you could easily watch this particular video at 1.5 speed. So when you set the speed to be 1.5, the video will accelerate. And that really allows you to watch things quickly. But then I don't want you to just stop working on it. the time that you save in watching these videos quicker, I want you to go back and rewatch some of these things that you find confusing or tricky, and I want you to go back and watch those videos again. So I'm telling you this because each person sort of watches videos at a different rate and things like that. So that's important for sure. But I want you to go back and rewatch some of these videos over the course of the week while you're working on the homework, while they're studying for the test. And I think that'll really help you. All right, so task 3, there's a section called Renew Your Vows. And just to kind of overemphasize to you how important it is that you maintain your integrity, your academic integrity while you're taking this course, I've asked you to pledge that you have not given or received any unauthorized help in any of this week's material. So I'm going to ask you to do that every week to give you a chance to kind of continually remind you week after week that you should be taking this course with the utmost integrity and following the rules that your instructor has sort of given to you. And finally, task 4 is a well-being check. Okay, so what I want to do as part of the weekly learning logs is just, 3 questions. On a scale of 1 to 10, rate your current level of anxiety and stress. On a scale of 1 to 10, rate where you think your level of anxiety and stress should be. And then is there anything else you'd like to tell me? So I've got some other information about why I'm doing this. Mostly it's for your own benefit and for you to reflect on how anxious or how worried or how stressed you are. I know it's a lot to take in, jumping from high school to university, especially in a pandemic. So I want to do what I can to make sure that you succeed in this course, and I'm preparing you and equipping you with all the tools that you need to equip in this to succeed in this course. All right, so that is how the weekly structure will work. I'll continually add this information week after week, and you'll sort of be able to keep up with it. Anytime you have any feedback for me, if things went well or if things aren't going well, you can always send me a message on Piazza. That's probably the best way to contact me. I said email because that's typically how I do it, but with so many students this semester, I've got over 1,000. I don't think it's going to be reasonable for me to keep up with email. So Piazza is the way that I sort of keep track of who I need to respond to when. So send me a private message on Piazza if you ever want to talk or if you have any concerns. You can also email me, but remember that your email might get lost, but it's unlikely that'll happen in Piazza. But if you don't want to reveal who you are, I've also got a way for you to give me some feedback anonymously, okay? So this is always going to be here, this anonymous feedback form. You just type in here whatever you want, and obviously try and be respectful and courteous. I have feelings. I'm human as well. If you have any feedback on how things are going and you don't want to share your name, please type it in here, and I'll try my best to address it as best as possible. All right, that's it. That's all the stuff you need to know for week 2. I look forward to seeing you on later this week during our lecture. Have a good week. Bye, everybody.